Hi again. Now I'm going to start painting. So that first assignment is about dropping, or the first little exercise about it's all about dropping the paint. How to well, it's a technique I call where you literally just drop the paint. So I'm going to do a little quick demo for you. So I'm going to take my mop, put it. So I've got this big bucket of water. You can see that I use. I'd suggest getting a bucket like this or a large mug or a cup or something, because the more water you have, the longer it lasts. It doesn't get all gunky quick. So the assignment is just to basically blob water down on your paper. Now I'm using cold press paper here. The cold press paper, which has a subtle texture to it, and it's in the block. It's the 9x12 block, not the big one. So I'm just going to put water down on here. And you kind of look at the side to see the reflection, where you can see the shapes forming, right? That's how you kind of get an idea. Oh, I should have done this first, I guess. Well, that doesn't matter. So I'm going to pick just 3 colors, and ideally 3, red, yellow, blue. Do your complements. And here's the palette. So I'm going to put now when I say blobs of paint, you just need just the tiniest blob. Oh, crud. These have things on them. Hang on. The best laid plans. Okay, they have a little metal thing on them. I've never used these paints. This is the one that comes in the kits. And like I said, I'm going to be working right along with you with the same materials. And one little tip is squeeze the sides of the tube like this, just gently. You squeeze it this way, and then if you do that, watch what happens. The paint kind of sucks back in, and it helps prevent a lot of gunky things from happening. Okay, we'll have to do the same with this one. There's that little metal. Watch your hands so you don't stab yourself. Put the blob over here. And again, you don't need too much. Remember, I'll squeeze it, pull it in. Remember, what do I want you to remember? Get red, yellow, blue, or we get a yellow. I can't remember. There we go, that works better. There's yellow. Just a tiny blob, so you pull it back in. Okay, I'm learning right along with you in terms of these materials. So, okay, now I'm going to sit down and paint a little bit. I'm going to start my dropping with, I moved the things over, got the paper wet with the mop. So now I'm going to use this brush here. So you wet the brush. Oh, I was going to say, with the brushes, they have like a starch in them. A lot of them do. So they're stiff. You can see how that kind of does that weird thing right there. You want to soak it to get that starch. Like soak it for about 5 minutes, just throw it in the water and let it sit in there, because then it will soften up. So I'm just going to move some paint into the palette here. I'm going to start dropping. Now the whole concept of dropping is that you're putting the paint on the paper. You're not brushing, but you're letting the water do the work, okay? So I'm gonna move around. Not moving a whole lot here. Need more water. And the assignment indicates that you should not try to make a picture. The idea is to develop a very abstract composition. I'm gonna sit down. Develop a very abstract composition that has no imagery. And see how that blossoms out like that? That's created through water tension. Okay, the water pushing. It's almost like it's alive, and it creates these really beautiful passages of paint, pigment, and color as they mix. And right now I'm pretty much just mixing straight onto the paper. I'm letting the pigment work into itself, creating different kinds of color combinations. And put some more water down. Okay, I'm going to turn this off because this could go on forever, and we'll come back to it in a little bit. But this is dropping. So start with a painting involving the technique dropping. Okay. The other thing is be patient with these paintings. Watercolor painting requires just a ton of patience. I like to joke, like I said in my email that, or on my on the D12 thing, that basically painting with watercolor is like sitting and watching paint dry, and that's really true. You just kind of let it be itself. I like to say let the water do the work. So I'm just letting the water move around. It's getting picked up in the slight texture of the paper in really interesting ways. It's mixing with itself in interesting ways. So that's what you want to, for this particular assignment, you just want to start to explore the way the water and the pigment work together. Anyway, I'm going to cut this now. Sorry about that little bit of shine on there. I'll have to work on that.